Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good week. I wanted to start by thanking everybody who's been watching my videos and those of you who have subscribed. I can't even tell you how good that makes me feel. I honestly thought I was just going to put these videos out into the universe, and maybe if somebody came across them, they'd watch, but most likely, click out. I know I don't have any fancy, opening or music or thumbnails. I don't know how to do any of that. But for those of you who have watched, I gotta be honest, it's really what has motivated me to keep going this week. I'm just, I'm really, I don't know, I'm shocked. I can't get my own kids and husband to listen to me when I talk. So, I told myself the odds that I'm going to get, people I don't know to hear what I have to say, might be slim to none, but worth the shot. And you guys have proved me wrong, and I thank you so much for that. Mwah. I couldn't figure out what I was going to have this video be about. I had a couple of, ideas, and then I was really kind of hoping that I was going to have some, happy, positive news. And unfortunately, this morning, that all got blown to hell real fast. I know in my very first video I had said that I had gotten out of the hospital last week, and during that time my therapist had called a treatment center that I had done a phone assessment with, and I guess, kind of really let them know the situation and that there is nothing in the state, and that I have been pretty much turned down due to either insurance or because of my feeding tube. I've been turned down to be able to participate in their programs, and this was one of the very few places that was willing to look into me. And as of on Friday, I was called and I was told, hey, you got in, and we're just waiting. We have a couple of discharges coming up, and once we have a bed, we will call you and you can book a ticket. And I was in shock, and of course I'm like, what about insurance? And they're like, well, look, we'll get to that when we get there, and we'll take care of that. And I still took it upon myself to call my insurance, and they had told me, just to let you know, there's a little monster that's going to come probably into the screen and run off with my tablet here in a second. So I apologize for that. I really haven't had much downtime. Hi. This is my youngest. This is Destin. He is getting over a cold, so we are just living in our pajamas because, that's okay. And he should be napping, but he hears Mommy talking to what appears to be herself. So he had to come investigate. And my other little munchkin is here too, and he is waiting patiently for me to go into the yard and help build a playhouse that we ordered for Christmas that arrived today. But unfortunately, I am not Bob the Builder. That is not my area. So hopefully when Big Brother Evan comes home from school, or Daddy, they can take that project on. But anyway, oh my goodness, I'm probably not even going to be able to upload this. What happened was this is day in life, this is mommyhood. And making phone calls with this going on is always fun too. Yes, you touched it. Yes, I know. Okay.
Wait, shoot. I just want to shoot.
Yeah, you okay. Destin Mark. So.
I want to shoot. Shoot at me.
So.
Shoot at you.
Okay,
shoot
say
you.
hi.
Hi.
Okay, now Mommy's going to finish her video, and then I'm going to come outside, okay? So go be a good boy and go on the bed. Come here, Doodle. Let's go get him his tablet. Come on. We're going to go take a trip. So anyway, So I called my insurance and I said, I got into this treatment center and I really need to know if this is something that, is gonna happen for me. Are you guys gonna cover it? Like, what are my benefits? And there, this man named Greg, who I had deemed my angel of the week, told me about this, this plan called like the Blue Card Access Plan, and basically, it meant that I would be able to, I'd be able to call a number in Nevada and basically state my case that there is no treatment programs out here, and that I could, I really need the treatment, and then I can send in, or I could have my therapist or my doctor call and send in whatever information or verify over the phone, and then I would get like a, I guess like a one-time case approval. And it turned out that this particular hospital also participated, so that was perfect. So I figured, I'm like 90% like in. I wasn't fully happy yet, and I was really, really, really stressed, and I had a lot of anxiety all weekend because that meant I was going to have to tell my job that this medical leave, I was put on a medical leave, it's the second time, which is, coming up on the 18th for me to do back at work, that I wasn't going to be able to, and I wasn't going to be able to give a time frame of when I would be back. And I really did not want to do that. I love my job, and I know that they needed me back, and I needed to be there, mentally and emotionally as well. And it was just scary, and it's very far away. It was mid-country, so I would not see my kids 4 months. I would not get visits. It was going to be really tough, because even when I've been in the hospital in the past, you get a visit, even one, it really does something for your, morale, and that was going to be really hard. But I said, you know what, if this is an opportunity that I'm actually going to be blessed with, I am going to take it like it is the last time, because it probably is, because I am not getting any younger, and I am not getting any better. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to come back, and I am going to give myself a chance at a normal life. And, I took the bull by the horn, and I made the dreaded phone call on Monday, gave a heads up to this assistant director, and then I also, let her know that I would be in the next day, which was yesterday, talk to, the owner, to my boss, and let her know. And I didn't realize how much it was going to affect me till I pulled in, and I started crying, and I had to sit in the parking lot for like 10 minutes and at my old spot, get it together, and then I went in, and I am so grateful that, as soon as she closed the door, she's like, Jean, you don't have to say anything, I've been caught up, you don't say anything, don't apologize, don't worry, I'm not angry, we love you, and we know you need to get better, and we want to see you get better, and you will always have a job here. And that was probably the best words I could have ever heard, and I almost started crying then, and I'm so glad she said that, because I don't think I would have been able to deliver the speech that I am, that I had planned, because, I had texted it to the assistant director, and it's a lot different when you're texting than when you have to say it face to face. And I got in, and I saw all the girls, I gave them hugs and let them know what was going on, and they were all really happy, and I really left feeling like at peace, like, okay, this is all falling into place. This could happen. Like, I got happy, and I somehow jinxed it. This morning, I called them because they had told me I would hear from them from, the early of this week. And it was midweek, so I figured let me call and see, if they're a busy hospital, let me just, check in. And sure enough, it went from, oh, we're just going to be discharging some patients and getting your paperwork together and, giving you a ring, to we don't know how long it's going to be till you get a bed. We don't have a time frame for the next discharge. And I went from being next in line to near the top. And I was speechless. Really, I didn't say anything, honestly. And they're like, do you still want to stay on the list? And I'm like, yeah, I do, thank you. And, we hung up. I texted my therapist because I instantly went into panic mode. And she was in a meeting, and she said she'll call me. And I'm just sitting going, I just gave up my job. What just happened here? And right away, I went into, what do I do? I have to have a backup plan. What do I do? So I figured, all right, let me start calling some of these other hospitals. I talked to so many, and I don't remember what issues each hospital had with me, but I just know none of them were working out. But let me call. Let me see. Now that I felt armed with this backup insurance plan thing, I'm sure I can make something work. I have to get in. I am in bad shape. This has been a bad week. I need the help. I don't know what to do. And I called another place, and they were thankfully a place that was going to take me, but it was insurance. So I then said, okay, well, let me call the insurance and find out. This is what they told me, and let me see if that is something that will work with your program. And they said, okay, great. So I called the insurance, and lo and behold, my angel Greg from last week is no longer my angel. He is my false hope Judas, and apparently my insurance does not participate in this plan that allows me to use this blue card access. And so any out of state, doesn't matter for what, I am responsible 100%. They will not reimburse, and it will not go toward my deductible. So I literally had to hang up because I started to cry. And that was where I just melted into my puddle of despair, and, well, this is it, game over. I lost. These were the last cards I had to play, like the last. And I honestly thought in my head, maybe I need to get a lawyer and get a will, because I'm done. I'm doing everything I can to keep my body from physically shutting down. I've done everything I can think of to keep myself from mentally shutting down. I've already emotionally shut down at this point. Like, I'm now a big 4-year-old banging around mad because, their Lego house fell over. And life is ruined. But that's how it felt, And two things happened simultaneously that got me out of that, and I am very grateful, and that is why I'm very grateful for all of you guys right now who have watched me and who have subscribed. Because I went onto the computer, I was like, you know what, I was just going to YouTube, just going to see what some of the people I like, if they posted anything, just to distraction, because I was going in bad places in my head. And I had gotten a message and a comment, and that comment meant more to me in that moment. That was the best thing that could have happened. Because no words from anybody else would have mattered, because they don't get it, and they don't understand how hard it is to fight for yourself, and then to feel not validated, and to feel like you're not worthy of it because you can't get in, or you've been turned down, or you've been bumped. it takes a hit on you, on your self-esteem, on your self-worth, all of the things that this eating disorder is telling you every day. You're not worth anything. You're not sick enough. You're not, you know, a good enough person for it. You don't deserve it. That just validates it. And no matter how hard you want to believe it, that's not true in that moment. You can't help but think that. And that's exactly how I felt. And this comment coming from this person who I don't know, just stopped me in my tracks. And I was going to go outside and have a cigarette and my cup of coffee. And my little guy woke up. And he's walking around, mama, mama, mama. And those two things right there made me realize that, nope, no. I'm not done. Now I'm mad. And sometimes it's good for me to get mad, because when I'm mad, I'm a little bit more feisty and a little less willing to bend to whatever the reality is in that moment. And I decided that I'm getting a bed. I'm getting a bed in a hospital if it kills me to do it. Because what do I have to lose at this point? And my son is not going to walk around mama, mama, mama and never get mama. Like, that's not fair. And I have told myself for a lot of years, and talked myself out of calling places and getting help and fighting insurances and fighting doctors, because I've always said, there are people sicker than me who probably need the bed more than me, and they're right, and I could do this on my own, and I will sit and I will suffer in silence and try to fight things by myself that are just too big for me. And all because I don't want to take something from somebody else, because I'm not that bad, says the voice. And at this point, between what I've heard from doctors, my therapist is, shoving down my throat every day, especially today after I did get in touch with her and I told her, nope, that's it. Nobody wants me. It's fine. I appreciate your help. And she's like, nope, we're not going there today, Jean. I'll call them back. And she did. And I realized, you know what? Forget it. I have waited a really, really, really long time for my turn, and it is my turn to get help. I deserve it, and if I don't, my children do, and that is worth fighting for. So, I am now currently still waiting to hear back from the first hospital, because my therapist called them, pled my case again, and they are going to try to work out a single case allowance with the insurance on their end without me having to do it. And they are also looking into, in case that falls through, a grant program that they have to help me pay for it, because the other hospital told me that the 45-day treatment, and this is not even the second half of their treatment, because it's like usually about 90 days, could be more, which is like where you go residential, really. For the first 45 days, out of pocket was $76,000. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have enough credit cards. I don't have enough credit to even apply for that amount of credit cards to cover something like that. So, she was the one that told me, try to get, a one-time only case, allowance thing or whatever it's called. And that's when I found out that apparently my insurance doesn't even qualify for that. And they said really the only time they ever do case allowances and they'll consider it is for transplants. And I said, you know what, you better consider every transplant, because those people are literally, they're on a time limit. So I really hope that you do more than just consider it for situations like this. I said, I know to you it's just an eating disorder, but I have 4 kids, and it's life and death. And for me to sit here and tell that to a stranger on the phone, I don't know what more you expect. I pay for this, and I can't even talk to anybody. So, that's insurance companies. But anyway, so I'm hopeful. I'm trying to be anyway. And I wanted to do this video on this particular issue because this is a lot of reasons why I think people don't get help, can get help, and give up trying to get help, because these can be the most discouraging conversations to have, because you're not just dealing with hearing it from people who want to help you but our hands are tied. You have that eating disorder voice in your head telling you, I told you so, laughing at you, and it's humiliating. And it's so easy to just give up and be like, forget it, I'm not worth it, I don't care anymore. And I've done that for a lot of years, and I have to care now. And it hurts to care because I still feel like I don't deserve it, and I still feel like, maybe, what if I go there and they look at me and they're like, you're not that sick. What was she talking about? All these things, I know that's the eating disorder, but, that's been that voice in my head for so many years that it is very hard to hear anything different, and to trust anything different. But I have to this time, because I know, because I physically feel it, that I can't push it anymore, and the hospitals, the second place was like, we're putting ASAP on your work, on your paperwork, and we're gonna get you in 24 to 48 hours. You need to be here. You've declined a lot, even from, I guess it was the end of September that I had called them, because it was around September that I had gotten a therapist, and the therapist immediately said, we should start looking into inpatient for you as an option. And I was a little hesitant, and I called, and I called a couple places, I guess, and it's but they were one of the first I called. And it was just, I don't know, it just made me feel like even they know I need the help, but they can't do anything. And it's like watching, I feel like I'm drowning and people are just standing there and they have nothing to throw to me, and they're just looking at me like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And I don't want to tell anybody either anymore. Somebody has got to do something, because I cannot do it. And I'm sorry to say that, and it hurts to say that, and it's a hit to the pride to say that. And it makes me feel like a terrible mother, and a terrible person, and a weak person, but it's the truth. Obviously, if I could have done it, I would have done something by now, because this is miserable. This is no way to live. I'm tired of being cold. I am tired of sitting on everything and it hurts. I am tired of banging everything and getting bruised. I'm tired of not having enough strength to lift my baby and walk him around at night because I get tired. I'm sick of it all. So, something has to give. So, I decided that this would be the topic of the video. That, sometimes it does go this way, but I'm going to do something different this time that I've never done, and that is I am going to continue to fight from my bed in a spot somewhere, and then this way you guys, and I'm going to share it, this way you guys will know how to do it too. And hopefully, if you haven't before, or you've been turned down before, you'll maybe feel like you have a little bit of a path of how to go about doing it, because if I can do it, you can do it. And I want nothing more than to see everybody who struggles to get treatment, because everybody deserves it, and everyone deserves to live a happy, healthy life and a normal life, and I wish it for everybody. So I'm gonna go before my kids act up. I can't believe they were actually this good. And I hope you guys all have a good rest of your week. I'm sorry I got a little emotional. And I will talk to you guys soon.